I'll be showing you how to create this boho style bag from start to finish. What you will need for this project: a sewing machine, pen and paper to sketch out your pattern, measuring tape or a long ruler, some fabric chalk, scissors, pins or sewing clips, and a hand sewing needle. For the fabric, you'll need two types. For the main fabric, you'll need about 1.1 by 0.8 meters of medium to heavyweight fabric. Anything from cotton to linen works well. I'm using a cotton corduroy fabric. For the lining, you'll need about 1 by 0.7 meters of lightweight fabric. I'm using a simple black cotton. You also need matching thread for each fabric too. First step is to draft the pattern on paper. I've added illustrations for each piece so you can follow along easily. Measurements are shown in both centimeters and inches. I'll be using centimeters throughout the video. We're starting with the main panel piece. Draw a line that's 24 centimeters wide and 28 centimeters tall. Turn this into a rectangle. This will be the base of our bag. Now draw two additional lines from the top of this rectangle, one that's 37 centimeters and another that's 15 centimeters. Measure out 10 centimeters along the top of the rectangle and 5.5 centimeters inwards from the far corner, leaving 8.5 centimeters in the middle. From that 15 centimeter point, measure out 10 centimeters, then an extra 6 centimeters. Repeat the same from the 37 centimeter point, measuring out 10 centimeters and then an extra 6 centimeters. Now connect all these points to form the bag. If you don't have a circular ruler, here's how we can freehand the curve. Measure 5 centimeters out on each side of the corner, connect these 2 points together, mark the center point of that line. This should be 3.5 centimeters, then add an extra 1 centimeter to each side from the 5 centimeter point. Use these 3 points as a guide to draw a curve. Now let's do the inner pocket. Draw a 16 centimeter by 17 centimeter rectangle. The sides with the 16 centimeters will be the top and bottom of the pocket. This piece is optional, so it can be skipped. Now let's do the outer pockets. Draw a 21 centimeter by 32 centimeter rectangle. The sides with the 32 centimeters will be the top and bottom of the pocket. This piece is also optional. And lastly, we will do the ties that will be used to tie the bag from the inside. Draw a 4 centimeter by 18 centimeter long rectangle. This piece is also optional. Now cut everything. We're now going to cut into the fabric. For the main outer fabric, we will need 4 main panel pieces, 1 inner pocket piece, 1 outer pocket piece, and 2 tie pieces. Fold your fabric with the wrong sides facing each other, then start pinning your pattern pieces on. All the pieces include a 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, so make sure to use that when you're sewing, unless I mention otherwise. For the lining fabric, we will need 4 main panel pieces. I folded the fabric 4 times over and pinned the pattern piece on. So just to recap, this is what you should have. 4 main panel pieces in lining and main fabric, 2 tie pieces, 1 inner pocket piece, 1 outer pocket piece, all in main fabric. Making the pockets. Begin by pressing the pockets. For the inner pocket piece, with the wrong side facing, Fold the side that is 16 centimeters long in by 1 centimeter and press. Do the same for the sides that are 17 centimeters long. For the remaining side, fold this in twice, about 1 centimeter each time, and press. This will become the top flap of the pocket. Repeat the same for the outer pocket, with the top flap being the side that is 32 centimeters long. On your machine, sew a straight stitch across the inner edge of that flap to hold it in place. Do this for both pocket pieces. Making the ties. With the wrong sides facing up, fold the long edges in by 1 centimeter. Then fold them in once more. Press to set these folds. We're going to sew a straight stitch along the entire length of the tie, keeping the stitch as close to the edge as possible. Assembling the panels and ties. Join two of the main panel pieces in the lining fabric. If your fabric has a right side, make sure they're facing each other. On the side with a curved edge, measure down 4 centimeters from the top. Insert one of the ties and clip it in place. I'm going to sew a straight stitch along the entire edge, making sure the tie is securely stitched in place. Repeat the same steps with the other lining panel and the second tie. Repeat the same steps without adding the ties to the panels in our main fabric, making sure the wrong sides of the fabric are facing each other while sewing the straight stitch. Press all the pieces flat, with the middle seam spread out on either side. We're going to do a top stitch along both edges. This step is optional, but it does add extra strength to the bag and adds a decorative element. I'm doing the same for all main panel pieces. If it's easier for you, you can flip the fabric with the wrong sides facing when you're creating these stitches. Attaching the pockets. Grab one of the lining panel pieces and the inner pocket piece. With the panel piece right sides facing, measure about 3 centimeters down from the tie and pin the pocket in place. Grab the main fabric panel piece and the outer pocket with the panel right sides facing. Measure 5 centimeters down and pin the pocket in place. Top stitch along the bottom and sides of each pocket. I'm also making a top stitch right down the middle of the outer pocket to create 2 smaller sections instead of one big one. This part is optional. As an added reinforcement, I've stitched squares at the top of each flap. Assembling the base of the bag. Take the main fabric panel pieces with right sides facing, clip them together along the outer edge. Sew a straight stitch along that entire outer edge. For the lining panel piece, repeat the same steps with the fabric right sides facing, except right at the bottom, measure about 7 centimeters from the center on both sides. Don't sew this middle part. We'll be using this opening to pull the fabric through later. Turn the pieces right side out and give everything a good press. With the middle seam spread out on either side, we're going to do that same top stitch along both edges that we did when we were putting together the panels. Again, the step is optional. This part doesn't have to be perfect. If it's easier, you can turn the fabric inside out so you can see the edge seams a little bit better. Shaping the bottom of the bag. Turn both the pieces inside out again. At the bottom edge of each piece, flatten it so it forms a triangle. Measure about 4 centimeters from the outer point. Draw a straight line across. Do the same for both sides and both fabrics. And sew a straight stitch along this line. You can cut off that excess fabric at the edge once you're done. Joining the lining and main fabric. With with the main fabric piece right side out and the lining piece inside out, place the main fabric inside the lining. We're going to clip all the raw edges of the lining fabric to the main fabric. Sew along that inner curve, but do not sew the top of the handles just yet. Once we're done, we're going to create some notches along the curve. So I'm just cutting into the fabric, getting as close as I can to the stitch, making sure I don't cut through it. Each cut is about 2 centimeters apart. It's important that you don't miss this step, as this will help the fabric stretch a little and allows the seams to lay flat when we turn everything right side out. Now with that opening we have at the bottom of the lining, pull the main fabric through and give everything a good press. Before we move on, let's make sure we do a straight stitch along the entire lining opening so we can close that gap. Finishing the handles. Take one handle and fold one edge in by 1 centimeters. Insert the raw edge of the other handle into the folded one, then sew a straight stitch across to secure it. We're going to sew one final top stitch around the entire handle on both sides, stitching as close as you can to the edge. Once done, fold in the sides of the handle at the very top until both sides are touching each other. Hand stitch in place. And you're done. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this with me.